the school system. You cannot blame the teacher, the principal, the other kids. You have to understand that the responsibility of child raising is given to the person that gave birth to the child. The responsibility of raising children is a responsibility of the person that gave birth to them. Everybody else aids and assists in the raising of the children. I proclaimed a fast that we might afflict ourselves before our God to seek of him a right way for us, for our little ones, and for all our substance. For I was ashamed to ask the government for help in my time of calamity. Because we told the government that the hand of our God is for good to those that seek him. This is our testimony to the world. God for us is more than the government against us. This is our testimony to the world. God for us is more than the government against us. This is our testimony. The righteous will not be forsaken. His seed will not beg for bread. So we were ashamed to go back to the government because we told the government God's going to take care. What happened? What happened? What happened to our testimony that we were going to trust God? What happened to our testimony that we were going to lean on God? What happened to our testimony that we were going to wait on God? What happened to our testimony? Because trusting God is no longer palpable. Trusting God is no longer clear to us. It is not an obvious thing. It's not an evident thing. Because trusting God in perilous times is quite challenging. How do I trust God when it seems like everybody around me is doing good? How do I trust God when it seems like the folk around me still have that job? I told the truth and lost my job. I confessed to my background. I confessed to the felony on my record. I confessed to why I left it. I didn't just leave the last job. I got fired from the last job. And because I confessed it, they won't hire me. Now I can't get a job because of my honesty. So now we choose. We choose to be politically correct. Don't tell the truth anymore. We just dress it up to sound like something that is not. I can't do all this. If you let me, I'll come back to some of this. If ever there was a time for us to consider the times in which we live. Matthew 24, and this is just a reference scripture. Matthew 24. Verse 3, as Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. Tell us, what's going to happen before you come back? Tell us, how will we know the world is coming to an end? Look at the first thing he says. What is the first thing he says? Take heed. Take heed that what? Of all, I mean, we follow all the things that he says. You know, Matthew 24, Matthew 25, Matthew 26. Powerful to read when you're talking about what's going to happen. That's why. But isn't it interesting? The very first thing that he says is, don't be deceived. Don't get caught up in what's palpable. Don't get caught up in what feels good. Don't get caught up in what seems good. There is a way that seems right, but the problem is when you end up. It's not that the road is not filled with good things and filled with good times and filled with good feelings, but where you end up. I understand. So nobody enjoys going through. That's right. Nobody in their right mind says, I want to go through. Jesus said, if it's possible, take it away. Is it possible, God? God never answers. Is it possible? Take this cup away. Is it possible to redeem man some other way? Is it possible that I don't have to have my back split wide open? Is it possible that I don't have to go and they put a crown of thorns and press it in my brow? Is it possible that they don't have to pluck the beard from my face? Is it possible that I don't have to carry this thing on my cross? Is it possible that they don't have to put nails in my hand? Is it possible? Nevertheless, in order, I volunteered to come to earth. But the only way I can get back to heaven is by Calvary.
Come on here.
I volunteered to serve.
Yes, Lord.
But the only way I'm going to reign is I got to go through Calvary. I volunteered to be a living example. But the only way I'm going to sit at your right hand is I've got to go through. Look at somebody, tell them you got to go through Calvary.
Oh God.
There is no way. You're not going to see the Father till you go through your Calvary. Listen, there is a Calvary that you got to go through.
So good.
Pastor, I accept what you said. I accept that there's a Calvary. I accept that this is my path. I accept that this is my destiny. I accept that this is, I believe you. But Pastor, how do I do it?
All right.
How do I do it? Let me bring it home today by taking you to Psalms 121. This is how you do it. I will lift my eyes to the hills from which cometh my help. Hallelujah. When all around is sinking sand, it is on Christ, the solid rock.
Yes, Lord.
How do I trust God in this world, in this season, and this time when nothing seems to make sense? I will lift mine eyes to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. My deliverance comes from the Lord. My hope comes from the Lord. My